All right, good evening, everyone. Live tonight using a different program. We're going to see how this goes tonight. We're also streaming not only to Facebook but to YouTube. So I'm going to try out this new program tonight, and we're going to see how this works tonight. I also want to see how the quality is. It looks like we got a good video feed, a good mic feed. You guys let me know in the comments as you guys get this on Facebook. I think that's where most of y'all are going to be tonight. I don't think a lot of you have subscribed to our YouTube channel yet. If you haven't, go to YouTube, type in tigerbait.com, and you'll be able to find us. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll get updates anytime we upload something there. We've been loading up content there almost every day, player interviews, Ed Orgeron press conferences, and all the like. A lot to discuss tonight. Of course, this weekly show, as always, is brought to you by Pride Roofing, LLC. We're glad to have them as a sponsor of tigerbait.com, the official roofing company of tigerbait.com. Mike Faraday and that group are absolutely fantastic. I'll talk about them a little bit more in the show, but a lot of big news tonight, certainly with South Carolina on tap. We didn't do a show last week. I hit the road in recruiting. Skipped a week because the Florida game was postponed. So we'll have an extra. We're going to be doing shows every week, anyways. But of course, we're going to be doing another game in December. So we'll have a weekly show. We're actually talking about a game, and of course, Pride Roofing is on board with us for that, for the duration of the season and on into recruiting. Got a lot to talk about on the recruiting front as well. Let me make sure. I want to get in the chat here that I'm able to get some of you guys. Let's see. 1 second, guys. I want to make sure I'm getting you guys. All right, there's Ashley Paxton, Garrett Galjour. Boy, I know I'm butchering it, Garrett. Forgive me. How you guys hearing me? Esteban, I see you there. You guys let me know how well my mic's doing. What do you think of the video feed compared to previous weeks using a different program? And I think this one's going to be even better, and we're going to keep trying to improve these every week. Jason Hughes, glad to have you all with us. As always, please go to tigerbait.com, subscribe. We've been dropping a lot of tidbits on the message board. Just because maybe the front page hasn't changed with content doesn't mean that we're not dropping tidbits and having conversations on the Tiger Den Premium message board. We want to have you. Esteban says we sound good. All right, we're good to go. All right, LSU, I've been kind of teasing it. I've been knowing it for several months. Ross Dellinger and Pat Forty with Sports Illustrated broke the news this afternoon that LSU has self-imposed 8 scholarships to be lost over the next 2 years. I caught wind of that a couple of months ago, but I didn't know the exact number, but I knew it was somewhere between 5 and 10. And sure enough, it comes out as 8. And that's why I've been kind of saying each week that with this COVID deal, LSU's under the scholarship cap already. So that makes it doable. But if you can convince Liam Shanahan, Dari Rosenthal, a Deculus, I think it'd be tough on an Ed Ingram. But, and I'm talking about offensive linemen, but it goes for every position. If you can convince your seniors to take use of the free year, come back for next year, and some of your draft eligible juniors that aren't, early round picks, if you can convince them to come back for another year, I think that can help the cause. Now, certainly when you add to it 3 weeks of off-campus recruiting, I don't think that's a big deal. The big deal because of COVID this past year is that you don't lose your June camps and your spring evaluation period. So when they put that 6 weeks in, if I had to guess, I bet you it'll be next football season where they really haven't been very active of going out to high school games anyways. I bet you they do that next season. I don't know that for sure, but they might pick a few weeks here and there. That is if the NCAA accepts LSU sanctions that they have imposed on themselves. Jennifer Timms, you look and sound great. Appreciate it. Video's good and tight, so is the audio. Kenny Haynes, of course, the official attorney of tigerbait.com, sponsors our post-game show, which will be 6 o'clock kickoff. Preston and I, so I think by the time we get everything loaded on the site, 11-ish, I'm thinking, we'll be live. And I tell you what, I'm looking at this game Saturday night. I don't know about y'all, but I'm leaning towards picking the Gamecocks on Saturday night. I just think with two freshman quarterbacks, and they're both going to play. Told that even the kind of the sell job is it's going to be a Drew Brees, Taysom Hill type of scenario with Max Johnson being the guy who's more athletic, that can run and do some things. It's going to be very interesting to see what Steve Ensminger and Scott Linehan do with the two freshman quarterbacks. And what's unfortunate is that because LSU struggled defensively in the early games, neither one of those two guys were able to get any playing time. They're immediately getting thrown into a South Carolina team that's hot. If you watch them play against Auburn, they're very good. They're going to want to blitz the hell out of these freshman quarterbacks, regardless who's behind center. Will Muschamp's going to dial up the blitzes. South Carolina's got a superb running game. They're averaging over 100 yards. Their running back, Kevin Harris, is 5 yards per carry. They've got a steady running game. LSU's not been able to stop the run. So we're going to see how much LSU has taken advantage of the Florida game being postponed to try and get that defense fixed. And can the offense continue to do what it was doing with Miles Brennan, with him out? And we're going to see how long he's going to be missing in action. So, look, TJ Finley's a confident kid. So is Max Johnson. But it's never ideal that you're getting your first start against SEC opponents, even though it is at home in front of 25%. Let's see. I was ready for a letdown this year, but 1-9 could hardly stomach that. I'm with you, Kenny. You know, it's when you look at the schedule, it's like, man, where is LSU going to pile up some wins? Where can they get healthy? I mean, Arkansas is a much improved football team. Ole Miss isn't going to be easy. Lane Kiffin's going to go for broke. Alabama, they're going to have that Roll Tide blank U audio from Ed Orgeron in the locker room last year on a loop that whole week leading into that game. They're going to want to, if they can score 70 on LSU, they're going to try and do it. Texas A&M, obviously, they're looking up. I just don't know. I think people could stomach a 5-5 or a 6-4. But a 1-9 or a 2-8 or a 3-7, man, that's going to be tough. Blaine Smith, any new recruiting news? Got a lot to talk about. Because I didn't do a show last week, I really didn't get to talk about the games that I saw the previous week. Trevor H.N. Jennings at Cecilia, he's absolutely fantastic, guys. And I keep telling y'all, yes, his older brother Travis is the star running back All-American at Clemson. I think LSU is in great shape with Trevor H.N., class of 2022 running back. Highly intelligent kid. Talked to a bunch of friends in the Jennings area that know him very well. Their kids are in school with him. Fantastic kid. Guess what he's about, 6 foot, 214 pounds right now. He is a beast. And I tell you what, there are people in Jennings who know football and watched his brother all those years. They think that Trevor might be better than Travis. And that is scary. So I think LSU is in great shape with him. Trevor, if you saw the interview over a week and a half ago on Tiger Bait, talks to Kevin Falk constantly, talks to Ed Orgeron all the time, almost daily. They are in very good shape. Of course, Jennings got hit with the hurricane, and Trevor and his family were on their way to Clemson, to South Carolina for that weekend, while Jennings was being evacuated anyways. But yeah, this is it's going to be I think LSU's in the lead for Trevor H.N. I really do. I mean, Clemson's going to have something to say about it. Texas A&M's in there. A lot of other schools. He got offered by Mississippi State a day or two ago. So I think schools are starting to catch up with him, probably because they saw my video of him against Cecilia, just taking off and running. And again, I'm always bragging about our prospect video on TigerBait.com, and If you saw that video, I was at Catholic Point Capee last Thursday night to see Episcopal in town against Catholic Point Capee and new LSU safety offer Matthew Langlois. That's on tigerbait.com. I posted that Monday morning. I put the interview with him up. Of course, he's still committed to Kansas State. Check out that video. Let me know what you think of that. But yeah, it's a lot to digest on tigerbait.com. But I really want to thank our sponsors tonight, Pride Roofing LLC. Mike Faraday and his partner Alex Martinez are absolutely the best in the business. They have the best 5-year labor warranty on roofing in Louisiana. A lot of folks in the state, whether it be all the way to the western part, southwest Louisiana, to the Gulf Coast, they've got you covered with teams. And please give them a call, 225-275-2041. Tell them that you heard about them on tigerbait.com. If you just need a quote, the quotes are free. They've got a way where they can do a Google aerial map from satellite imagery and give you an outline over the phone. From that, they'll send somebody out for free to see what your needs are on a new roof. If you think you're maybe a year or two away and you just want to know what it's going to cost you, have them come out, give you the free quote so you have know what you need to budget in the coming years. If you're starting to think your home is due for a roof, they're the absolute best in South Louisiana. He's an LSU grad here in Baton Rouge. He went to Broadmoor High School. I grew up with him and his younger brother. Absolutely superb people, and that's what really excites me about our sponsors on these shows, is that they're people that I know personally, and I endorse them wholeheartedly myself, regardless whether they were paying money to be a part of our broadcast. So Pride Roofing, please tell them that you heard about it on tigerbait.com. You'll love Mike Faraday, Alex Martinez, and their whole group. I know a lot of people, unfortunately, need roofs after the weather events we've had. Hopefully we're done with it and there's no more left. But whether it's a weather event or you're just due for a new roof, please call Pride Roofing and tell them that you heard about it here on tigerbait.com. Thursday night was at Catholic Point Capee. Friday night, you knew I wasn't going to miss that one. I went live. I went live in pregame, live in postgame. St. Thomas More in Baton Rouge at Memorial Stadium against Catholic High. I told y'all leading up to it for weeks. Look, a lot of times I go out as a guy who covers recruiting, and I'm just there to see a prospect. And whether the game's good or not really is immaterial to me. I'm just there to scout a player, video him, get an interview. But that game last year at STM was one of the best games I'd ever seen. Catholic High won that one. I think they won 4 straight leading into this past Friday night's game, and it didn't disappoint. I was tweeting in the second half, if you've got Cox, turn it on. It's on your view. What is that, 104 or 104 on your contour box? If you saw it, it's absolutely fantastic. And if you did see it, I put that video out for free. I did highlight packages on Walker Howard, Jack Besh, and I'm going to say it right now. I think Emory Jones, the offensive guard prospect for Catholic High, I honestly believe he is a future All-American offensive guard. I think he's that good. Highly talented. Shelton Sampson had 1 reception, a big one in the game. Didn't target him a whole lot that night. Of course, STM broke through and got the win. My phone was blowing up not only about everybody who really seeing Walker for the first time and knowing about how much I've been bragging about him for several years, but my phone was really blowing up with how can LSU not have offered Jack Besh by now? And I think the pressure is building up on LSU because I know the text messages I've got. I know what I can imagine what the LSU assistant coaches and all the recruiting staffers, what kind of phone calls and text messages that they have gotten for anybody who saw Jack Besh in that game or have been paying attention to him and throughout the first 3 games of the season. He is now the all-time receiving leader in St. Thomas More history. An absolute beast at about 6'2", 215, 220 pounds, catches everything, lays it all out on the line to catch balls. Of course, everybody says, what's the reason? You would love it if he could run a 4.45. He doesn't. But look, I think when you look at all the other receivers in the state, whether it's 21, 22, you got to say that Jack Bech, just from a production standpoint, is as impressive as anybody that's out there, including those who are committed to LSU or those, excuse me, have offers. No, it's not COVID. Fighting a sinus infection and ODing on NyQuil the last 2 days. Let me see if I'm missing any of your questions. How fast is Bech? Blaine's to ask. You know, look, I think he can probably get into the 4.6s. What does he ran in the past? I think he might be in the low 4.7s. I think he needs to be in the 4.6s solidly for LSU to offer. And here's the thing. It's not just LSU that had an offer. There's a lot of major schools that recruit Louisiana. You know, where's Florida? Where's Auburn? Where's Alabama? Auburn, TCU, Texas A&M. You know, but I think as the season goes along and these coaches out there who are watching videotape see Jack Bech, and look, his family are love him being committed to Vanderbilt, a great education there. But I do think he's going to get his due, and the big-time scholarship offer is going to come. I hope they do. And then he has something to choose from. If he decides to stick with Vanderbilt, that's fine. And look, the scholarship spots for LSU are so tight right now. We talk about it every week. They've been sitting at 18 for a while. And if you go 19 through 24, you can fill in the blanks pretty easily. Sage Ryan, Brian Thomas, Mason Smith. If you want to put Corey Foreman in there, Tristan Lee, Savion Byrd, well, you're 24 right there. And then at 25, who's it going to be? Matthew Langlois got an offer several weeks ago. Does he flip from Kansas State? What is he waiting on? What's the internal discussion between those two parties on that offer? You've got other kids out of state that are getting recent offers from LSU. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. I know certainly between how LSU's season has started so far and the NCAA info today with the self-imposed 8 scholarships and some of the time taken away, they can be out on the road, etc. A lot of people are asking, does that hurt recruiting? And look, there's no doubt about it that other schools are going to use that to negatively recruit against LSU. If someone's trying, whether it's Ohio State or Clemson, I'm just going to use them as an example with Tristan Lee. I mean, you don't think they're not going to, one of their assistant coaches might not drop that and use that, try and use that against LSU. But I think the relationships that the LSU coaches have with these players is going on multiple years now. These players know the quality of the program. There's a difference between team and program. This is a team this year, but as far as the program being on solid footing and the high caliber coaches in the building, I think that overrides a lot of any negative stuff that's going on right now. It is a COVID year. Not to make excuses for LSU. They need to get better every week. They need to get some wins. I don't know where it's going to come from. Like I said, it's hard not to pick South Carolina this Saturday. I haven't officially done it, but I'm leaning in that direction. Garrett, have you covered news on Mason Smith and Corey Foreman? Certainly we have at Tiger Bait. We talked to Mason, I guess about a month ago, and Preston has talked to him. We've talked to Tristan Lee as well. Corey is a little bit harder to get in touch with, but we've got a lot of sources that have their ear to the ground, which is why I've had Corey Foreman in the probable category to LSU for a while now. Any knowledge of the silent commits O was talking about? Yeah, I think there are several kids who have said, Coach, I'm coming. I just want to take some visits, or I promised this assistant coach at such and such a school that I wouldn't make a decision until I come for a visit. Well, that certainly makes things tough if you're going to sign in December and there's no official visits allowed to be had until after the new year, and we don't even know if that's going to be extended beyond the new year. I'm told there's no way in hell that they're going to take that, alter that December schedule, because it'll be unfair to teams that are playing late in December, championship games, bowl games, that the December blanket is going to stay regardless of the COVID situation. So If you're a midterm grad, that throws a wrench in everything. But I do believe that there are several kids, probably as many as 3, that have told Ed Orgeron and the staff that, hey, Coach, I'm coming. I just want to announce it on this date, whether, or I want to take a visit, or, whatever it may be. But, yeah, there are some kids that have said, Coach, I'm coming. Where they said, Coach, I'm committed. I just don't want it out yet. I don't know if they use that word. But Ed Orgeron and the staff feel comfortable with multiple kids. I believe that. Esteban, if Besh can play offering, he will get faster under strength and conditioning program. Here's the thing. Let's say he can never get below 4.7. Let's say he's let's say he's a 4.68 guy. When I've seen Jack Besh enough to know if he's an inside receiver and it's 3rd and 5, and you want to throw a quick slant for a first down, he's going to catch it. He's just that special. And look, I like to play devil's advocate a little bit. I remember years ago on our message board, Britt Broadhead, who Jack Besh, overtook as far as the all-time receiving leader in STM history. We were getting, blitzed on our Tiger Den premium message board from folks, certainly in Lafayette saying, man, they're making a mistake on Britt Broadhead, and he had the numbers. But this is, and he went to McNeese. But I think this is a whole different animal. We'll see how this plays out. There's always debates in every football program. There's going to be coaches on a staff that say, I want this kid. We need to offer him. There might be some coaches that are a little gun shy and, want to see that 40 time or whatever, or we're hoping that they were going to be able to get him at camp and see him. So believe me, they're watching every little bit of footage they can get, whether it be through Tiger Bait, Huddle, Twitter, TV stations. The coaching staff is watching all of it. Could he be an H-back? That's been discussed as well. I've talked about that in the past as well. I would be real curious if you put Thaddeus Moss and Jack Besh back to back and eyeballed them and looked at them physically back to back or side by side, what the difference would be. I bet you it's darn close. Not only that, he's a great student, smart kid. I think he'd be a great addition to the program. But look, scholarships are tight. I get it. We'll see what LSU ends up doing. Mike, do you just stay in the local areas when you visit high school recruits? Rephrase that, Esteban. I'm not sure, but obviously I go to Texas. I'll go to Mississippi to see them. I've before COVID altered the season, and I had some trips planned out in September. Had some of the games gone as scheduled. I was really eyeballing STM at Neville early in the season, which got canceled because of COVID. I was looking forward to that. Walker Howard and Will Campbell, the offensive lineman for Neville, class of 2022, big-time offensive lineman, tackle, prospect, best friends. And I'm told Will Campbell, because Neville is playing tomorrow night, I'm told he'll be in Lafayette Friday night to watch St. Thomas More against Westgate. So that shows you how close those two are. That's a little recruiting nugget for y'all. Let's see what else I got. Ensminger isn't doing bad of a job, but his age is my concern. Pelini better get it together. Ask Matt Canada if O hesitates to make changes. Blaine, I think LSU has a big problem personnel-wise. I think when you go to a 3-4 to a 4-3, you have to have some very salty defensive linemen. I think there's some quality defensive linemen there. But I think your best defensive linemen are young right now. The type of guys that are going to fit that 4-3 have to be like what Pelini had when he first got to LSU, when you got Kyle Williams and Marquise Hill and Glenn Dorsey and Favorite and was Drake Nevis was in that group coming behind. I mean, you have to have some big-time playmaker, pressure the quarterback up the middle guys, not guys that when you're watching the Missouri running back run like Moses parting the Red Sea with his staff and not getting touched. LSU's a little light in the britches. Certainly, Tyler Shelvin opting out was a big blow. So yeah, we're going to see how this plays out. Let's see. Let me see if I missed anybody else I want to talk about tonight. Look, go on tigerbait.com. I want to have you all as a subscriber. $1 gets you on the site for a 1-week trial period. And always, I tell y'all, if you're going to stick around with us, choose the annual package. That saves you basically, you're getting 3 months for free when you choose the annual. And you get the, for the guys out there, you get the WAF factor, the wife acceptance factor, where you're not getting billed monthly every month for Tiger Bait. You just get hit once a year. So we want to have you as a subscriber. We've had an incredible run of new subscribers, and we're about to be loading the website up here in the next couple of days as game time gets here. Lots of recruiting stuff on the way. I'm putting together a war room on the class of 2022, and of course all of our prospect video. Go check out some of the stuff that's right on the front page. And also, like I said earlier, go to our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in tigerbait.com. You'll find us easily. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I just got notification that 3 more videos for our Tiger Bait Video Vault series. I've been teasing that for weeks and got behind on what I wanted to do with that. But I've got some Tre'Davious White video of him at a combine that I went all the way back. Wait till you see some of that. I've got some Devon Godchall video, Traven Doral. I've got some Tyrann Mathieu. That's just from the last page. I've got close to 1,500, I think, videos going back over a decade that we're going to be loading into that Video Vault series on our YouTube channel, and we'll be putting that all out for free. So you'll want to sure to check that out. I'm probably going to load up a couple of those in the next couple of days. Blaine Smith, great information as always. Yeah, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Preston will be here tomorrow night with his show. I'm hitting the road again. I'm going to be in high school stadiums Thursday and Friday night. Nobody brings you video on prospects at LSU's after like we do at Tiger Bait. I see what's out there. The quality of our video is better than everybody else, and I like to brag about it. So check us out at tigerbait.com. And thanks to Pride Roofing, the official roofing company at tigerbait.com. Give them a call, like I said, 225-275-2041. Tell them Tiger Bait sent you. See you on the Tiger Bait Premium Message Board. And we'll be back here on postgame Saturday night in Preston tomorrow night. And see you then. Thank y'all.